Well, what do I have to say for myself? A lot. So, look, I took a look at Gondichi. It's pumping. It's up like 6x from before Frank the Donut Hucker invented what is it? Like Ethereum Gold? I don't know what the fucking website can't even handle the traffic. But Sonny's so fucking cheap he can't afford to pay for the fucking for the main website. He can't afford to pay for the influx of money. Gosh, man, I saw P3D and it's happening all over again. I don't know if it's going to get that high. But to watch everybody FOMO into that, man, some people are going to get so fucked. Anyways, more important things than Sonny trying to accomplish putting the history of India on a blockchain. Good luck with that, Sonny. Try not to drink too much. RSR. Fucking, I'm amazed. These guys, out of all of the fucking telegrams and projects, Richard Hart letting me talk to him for a minute before he banned me completely out of his telegrams and discords, this RSR, I've been bugging him about some of the, you know, the more opaque aspects of how they work. And they kicked me off, right? They did, but let me go through this story. I think it's really fun. They kicked me off because I made this statement. You know, I explained kind of RSR has the reserve rights has reserve rights is a RSR token, and then they have an RSV token. The RSR are the ones with $9 billion in volume, $56 million market capitalization that everybody's high on because it's shooting up through the roof right now. But it's so popular because of the fact that it's got the RSV token. The RSV token is a stable currency that is a stable token, that is a combination of 3 different tokens. 2 stable tokens tied to the price of the dollar, and another token that is the PAX token. And these 3 tokens, when you use these 3 tokens, when you buy an RSV token, those 3 tokens are the holdings, the collateral. This is why I find this thing so compelling, is because it's a collateralized version of a currency that functions in a way. But my big problem with this currency, the RSV token, is right now they're pumping it out in South America where it's most needed. Colombia, Argentina, and Venezuela. I was wrong when I said Argentina has 5,000 wallets. The preponderance of wallets is in Venezuela. And I say this on behalf of the fact of Nevin, the lead guy there. He actually reached out to me. Can you believe that? Somebody like me he's talking to. So anyways, my big dispute is, or my big concern, I should say, not dispute, it's turned into that, I guess, but I don't want to, I mean, just because of the way I address things, it doesn't mean I'm, like, yeah, I'm questioning you. Anyways, the RSV token has created, the people that are, like, running that, they've created an app, and this app is being used by 5,000 people in South America, in those 3 countries, predominantly Venezuela. And it's being used so that people can hedge their government currency and not lose value. In other words, their milk isn't going to, or whatever, their beef, chicken, pork is not going to cost 5 times as much next week or their next paycheck, so they can put their money in this. And it's a great idea. I love this idea. But these 5,000 tokens, or these 5,000 wallets on the app, they're not on the RSV blockchain that's on Ethereum. It's somewhere else. And they weren't being clear with me. Like, repeatedly since yesterday, not until this morning, did I actually get any kind of response. So, this is what I got kicked off for. I want to read this to you, because I don't know, it's not so bad. What I said was, so am I to understand, I put this on the Telegram while I was actually a member of their Telegram. So am I to understand, you guys talked about 5,000, 5,000 Venezuelans into downloading an app that they can or can't put their money in. Are those 5,000 people using it? And if so, where the heck are the deposits being held? 2, what form of money is it being held in? And 3, what kind of excuse will you give for not being able to answer the question that will make you sound like another Fed cartel gangster? Not putting this on chain and putting the product out there at the same time makes you look quite suspect. The fact that you admit to what you do is supremely arrogant, not to only regulators, but to the 5,000 people who can potentially be victimized, again, by privileged kleptocrats who use the dollar to destroy. People in Venezuela have and are suffering more than your imagination could take. Why should I believe you are not acting to add to the evil Venezuela knows? Well, you know, you can obviously tell my perspective of where things are, and I'm being really vigilant and trying to, like, you know, express an opinion, obviously. And maybe I did it wrong, okay? So they kicked me off. And then I said, please just tell me or the community, 5,000 poor South Americans are trusting you. Will you tell the world what ledger you were using to store 5,000 poor people's hard-earned RSV tokens on? And I got fucking kicked off. First they muted me, then they kicked me off, and then they brought me back in, and then fucking all this shit went down. And fucking Nevin Freeman got in touch with me. I can't directly. And had me, and directly addressed me. Now, when he first started, he still avoided the specific questions that I'm having. The one specific question about, where's the ledger? Where's that 5,000 wallets? You know, and how much of those, I didn't get the answer to how many of the 200,000 RSV tokens are, like, in the separate server, where they have their own exchange that's completely opaque. Okay? He admitted this. Not only did he admit this, they invited me back on the forum. The leaders of Reserve Rights Token, or Reserve, or whatever, RSV and RSR, they invited me back. I'm a member again, after being an absolute prick. Even though, I think the reason they invited me back in is because I think their intent is true. They're not fucking Sonny looking for Frank to bring in a bunch of victims so they can scam the fuck out of him, like Saint. He's not saying, he's not telling you he's going to do something with dominance and then say the fucking weather or the fucking masks prevented him from fucking not giving you all your money back. That's not Nevin Freeman, it seems. That's not him. He doesn't seem to be fucking criminally intent on his actions. And on top of it, he's willing to be transparent with somebody who's in the pit. The pit, motherfuckers! The participation in immutable transparency. He does believe in this, although he does admit eventually, you know, what I've gotten from Nevin is that he plans on putting RSV on chain, the app that they have with all the users in South America. He plans on putting that on chain with the current version of RSV that we have on, you know, the Ethereum ERC20 token. But he's saying it's a monumental task, and God knows when it's going to happen. And as well, he says, after that happens, he does plan on making, like, opaque versions where things can happen opaquely, like what our XRP has. You know, where you know, most transactions, or for the preponderance of them, are going to be on-chain and transparent, but there's still going to be a means by which those that are most evil to fuck the commons over. Because that's the only reason transactions need to be transparent. Now, if you need to, now the cook told me, some cook told me that, you know, what about if you're really rich and everybody can see how rich you are? They're going to come and steal from you. Well, value, once you have it, you can store it in innumerable ways to store your value. But if you're going to fucking transact in that value with the commons, and you're unwilling to be transparent about that, get the fuck out of my life, move to another fucking country. Get the fuck off this planet, because you don't belong here, because you're a fucking vermin. Now you know my perspective, and now you know what the hell I'm coming from. And so, in consideration of the fact that Nevin Freeman is actually putting up with me, which nobody in this space has. Ask anybody who watches this channel how many fucking forums I've been kicked off of, how many cryptocurrency projects fucking think I'm an idiot, how many cryptocurrency projects hate me because of my questions. Nevin's the only guy who really seems to have stood up. And in consideration of his last name, shit, it's sad I don't have this from memory. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming? Those broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight over the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare the bomb bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate the heck out of that.